Well. Donald Trump, RFK Jr., and the gaggle of misfits and absolute fucking freaks, they've allegedly done it. They have found the supposed cause of autism. Woo! The cause of autism! Well, apparently it's got something to do with fucking Tylenol. Yeah, it's some fucking schizo shit. Whoa, as expected from, like, dumbasses like RFK Jr., Donald Trump, Mehmet Oz, and, Jay Bhattacharya. Fucking. In reality, they haven't found shit on fucking autism, and, like, Trump is just also going ahead with all this stuff because he's, like, a particular fucking autistic fixation himself on autism, and thinking that all the fucking vaccines, because this is the standard fucking anti-vaxxer conspiracy theory that, well, if you take all of those vaccines at the same time, folks, that means your kid's gonna be more prone to autism. And it's like, that's like the point that, like, Andrew Wakefield was apparently trying to put out. But the only reason why Andrew Wakefield was putting out that point specifically was because he was trying to sell his own patent on a particular vaccine that he supposedly discovered, quote unquote, in order to try to make millions of fucking dollars, which is why the basis of, like, anti-vaccine, like, conspiracism and all that is exactly what it is. It's just a fucking conspiracy theory. But what do we have from these, I don't know, collection of morons?
Thank you very much.
What's up, boys?
So I've been waiting for this meeting for 20 years, actually. And it's not that everything's 100% understood or known, but I think we've made a lot of strides. I wish it was done a long time ago. Today, we're delighted to be joined by America's top medical and public health professionals as we announce historic steps to confront the crisis of autism. Horrible, horrible crisis.
Fake news.
By the way, these guys, let's be honest here. Specifically, Mehmet Oz is a fucking goddamn TV doctor who's been sued multiple times for putting out, like, quack conspiracy bullshit. RFK Jr. is a lawyer, so not a public health official. Jay Bhattacharya, or Jay Bhattacharya, is he even a fucking medical professional? He's a professor, I know that for certain. Is he a fucking medical professional? He's a complete fucking conspiracy crank weirdo who has written about how vaccines are kind of, like, stinky and bad, and you should not fucking use them. Has also put out, like, rank conspiracies about that stuff. What else? Like, I mean, I know we've, like, seen some of, like, Jay Bhattacharya's fucking dumbass bullshit, so it's just like, eh. No, he was only in academia and NIH. So, yeah, he's not a fucking doctor. He's just a fucking goddamn professor. He's only been in academia. So, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that is pretty fucking bad, right? But I mean, I'm not trying to, like, come up with, like, excuse or anything. Like, what the point that I'm overall bringing here is that none of these motherfuckers are qualified to talk about any of the shit that they supposedly know about. That's, like, the more broader point that I'm trying to go with here. Like, none of these guys are qualified whatsoever. So, nice meme.
I want to thank the man who brought this issue to the forefront of American politics along with me. And we actually met in my office. Is it like 20 years ago, Bobby? It's probably 20 years ago in New York. I was a developer, as you probably heard, and I always had very strong feelings about autism and how it happened and where it came from. And he and I...
So, yeah, that's the main thing. They basically think that autism, all of a sudden, because of the fact that diagnoses of autism has gone significantly better because of technological advancements and also the methodologies needed in order to detect autism have been getting significantly better. For whatever reason, all these, like, cranks, weirdos, freaks, morons, seemingly believe that that means, listen, this could not have been because of technology or anything getting better. No. That's not how that works, folks. It obviously has to be because of the fact that there's something in the water that's turning everyone autistic or something. That's what it actually is. Or it's some kind of a drug that's making everybody autistic, folks. Let me tell you. And it's just like, that's just the most fucking idiotic bullshit I've ever heard of in my life. There's just no evidence, nothing at all to suggest that fucking autism is being caused by, I don't know, well, what they think in this particular case is pregnant women fucking taking Tylenol. I'm spoiling a little bit. I'm getting ahead of myself. But yeah, it's just complete fucking utter nonsense, dude.
The word got out, and I wouldn't say that people were very understanding of where we were, but it's turning out that we understood a lot more than a lot of people who studied it, we think. And I say we think because I don't think they were really letting the public...
Again, these guys have no medical background at all whatsoever behind any of it. Like, you should not believe anything that they say.
know what they knew. Thanks as well to the director of the National Institute of Health, Dr. Jay Bhattacharya, FDA Commissioner Dr. Marty McCarry. These are great people. Administrator of the Centers for Medicine and Medicaid Services, Dr. Mehmet Oz, and Acting Assistant Secretary of HHS, Dr. Dorothy Fink. So thank you all. Thank you, Dorothy, very much. The meteoric rise in autism is among the most alarming public health developments in history. There's never been anything like this. Just a few decades ago, 1 in 10,000 children had autism. So that's not a long time. And I've always heard, they say a few, but I think it's a lot less time than that. It used to be 1 in 20,000, then 1 in 10,000. And I would say that's probably 18 years ago. And now it's 1 in 31. But in some areas, it's much worse than that, if you can believe it. 1 in 31. And I gave numbers yesterday. For boys, it's 1 in 12. I was told that's in California, where they have, for some reason, a more severe problem. But whether it's 1 in 12 or 1 in 31, can you imagine? That's down from 1 in 20,000 and 1 in 10,000. And now we're at the level of 1 in 12 in some cases for boys. 1 in 31 overall. So since 2000, autism rates have surged by much more than 400%. Instead of attacking those who ask questions, everyone should be grateful for those who are trying to get the answers to this complex situation.
Okay, no, that's not the point, Trump. The problem is that you guys are basically coming up with, and ginning up a conspiracy theory about it. That's the problem that people are having with this in particular, right? The main issue is the fact that why is there a fucking increase in fucking autism? Because there is an increase in fucking autism amongst these demographics. What he's saying there is true. The problem is that the sort of basis and the justifications and sort of ideas that are being pushed in order to justify this more than likely crackdown on fucking vaccines. Let's be honest here, because if it involves RFK Jr., they're gonna go after more vaccines. It's same with all these other weirdo dipshits and morons that exist within the Trump administration. That's what they're mostly going to be hyperfixating on in particular. No, the main issue in particular is the fact, and this is, pretty simply put, that a lot of the technology and a lot of the methodology and a lot of the sort of ways, let's go with ways that autism has been diagnosed has been significantly fucking improving. So that's the general sort of reason why. It's not due to, I don't know, something being in the fucking water that's making everyone significantly more autistic or something, as these guys broadly speaking think. It's just not true. It's because technology has gotten better and diagnosis abilities have been also getting better. So therefore, a lot more instances of autism spectrum disorder, or autistic spectrum disorder, because again, autism is a spectrum, have been more and more getting found out. It's not because of whatever gobbledygook these fucking morons say.
And the first day, all of these great doctors behind me were there. I told them this is what we have to find out, because when you go from 20,000 to 10,000 and then you go to 12, there's something artificial. They're taking something. And by the way, I think I can say that there are certain groups of people that don't take vaccines and don't take any pills that have no autism. Does that tell you something? Is that a correct statement, by the way?
Well, that depends on A, genetic factors, B, environmental fucking factors, because hormones are a funny thing. Brain development is a funny thing. In the womb and shit, weird wacky stuff can just fucking happen. It's again, these motherfuckers think it's just as simple as just well, the reason why everyone's so fucking autistic, let me tell you folks, is because of the fact that, well, all the frogs are turning them gay or something. You can't trust the water, folks. Something's in there that's making everyone extra fucking gay or some shit. And it's just there's just no there. There's nothing to suggest that this is the fucking case. It's complete utter fucking nonsense, dude.
There are some studies that suggest that, with the Amish, for example. The Amish, yeah, virtually. I heard none. See, Bobby wants.
Yeah, bro, the fucking Amish, bro. Man, oh no, not the Amish. Yeah, we're smoking big doinks right now on fucking Amish, dude.
To be very careful with what he says and he should, but I'm not so careful with what I say. But you have certain groups, the Amish as an example.
Oh yeah, you should, Trump. It's not a good thing that you're not being careful with what you're saying, my man. You're the president of the United States. You are the most powerful fucking man on the fucking planet. You, generally speaking, should be quite careful with a lot of the things that you say. a lot of shit that you say has sway over millions of fucking people. So you probably should be more considerate, especially in terms of like peddling. Well, let's be honest here, complete utter conspiracy theories.
They have essentially no autism. First, effective immediately, the FDA will be notifying physicians that the use of let's see how we say that. Acetaminophen.
This is the guy who's like appointing people in order to be able to fucking have jurisdiction over public health within America. You can't even pronounce the term acetaminophen. Jesus fucking Christ, man.
Is that okay? Which is basically commonly known as Tylenol, during pregnancy can be associated with a very increased risk of autism. So taking Tylenol is not good. I'll say it. It's not good.
No, don't take your Tylenol,
For this reason,
guys.
they are strongly recommended.
So by the way, they're obviously wrong. So Tylenol and autism, RFK Jr. and Trump are wrong. The largest and best study in the world is in 2.5 million kids found no increased autism risk with acetaminophen, aka paracetamol, Tylenol, use by the mother during pregnancy. A crude unadjusted analysis found only a preliminary 5% risk, but once you adjust for family by matching using sibling controls who didn't get autism, the even tiny 5% risk vaporizes to 0. So it's a fucking nothing burger. Like, I don't know, maybe like Jay Bhattacharya or some shit said some like random fuck shit in his like one of his like dumb fuck studies that he wrote in whatever like dumbass medical journal that he wrote, and basically that's what caused Trump to just be like, well, that's correct, that's right. Who wants to make a bet, honestly, that it was bottom of the fucking ninth inning and Trump and RFK Jr. still didn't fucking find shit at all whatsoever in terms of finding the supposed root cause of fucking autism, and they just made up with some fucking random fuck shit. Like, they found some study that they decided to twist and misinterpret in the whatever way to be like, oh, it's Tylenol. Yeah, it's definitely Tylenol. Because you want to know what's funny about all of this? If Tylenol wanted to sue the fuck out of the Trump administration for defamation, they could. And honestly, they should. They should sue the absolute living shit out of the fucking Trump administration for basically peddling complete, utter fucking nonsense bullshit conspiracy theory. Because there is, like, literally zero fucking goddamn evidence that Tylenol, when taken by pregnant women with fucking kids in the fucking goddamn womb, have ever gone fucking autism. There's just no evidence whatsoever. So that's very, very cool. To address unobserved confounding matched by the full sibling pairs were analyzed. Sibling control analyses found no evidence that acetaminophen use during pregnancy was associated with autism. Conclusions and relevance: acetaminophen use during pregnancy was not associated with children's risk of autism, ADHD, or intellectual disability in sibling control analysis. This suggests that associations observed in other models have been attributable to familial confounding. Interestingly, there's also no dose response. Higher dose, higher risk relationship either. So basically, if you take a lot more fucking goddamn Tylenol, there is no association with taking more Tylenol that causes fucking autism. So that's cool. Higher dose of acetaminophen did not find a higher risk than a lower dose or medium dose pattern. This also suggests a lack of casualty usually. While non-linear results can occasionally happen, there usually is a reason. And so a funky, unexplained up and down thing with no significant trend is a telltale sign in epidemiology that Tylenol autism thing isn't real. Because again, that's just how it is with shit like this, with genetic shit like this, and epidemiology. Random fucking bullshit can just happen at all times. So again, the above study was also in Sweden. Didn't fucking find anything either. And bro is also hawking the fucking Substack. I respect the fuck out of this man. I respect the fuck out of this man, Eric. Okay, listen, you fucking talk about the Substack. Basically, Yeah, it's bullshit. There's nothing to suggest whatsoever that it's Tylenol being taken by fucking pregnant women that's causing an increase in autism. Again, like I've said before, the increase in fucking goddamn autism is not happening because of fucking vaccines, which is what RFK in reality really thinks, or what Trump really thinks also in reality. It's because diagnosis methods have been getting better, the technology to find it have also been getting better, and also it's because of environmental factors and also can be genetic fucking factors as well. It's not because of some fucking random ass drug that's being taken by anyone. It's complete nonsense.
Many that women limit Tylenol use during pregnancy unless medically necessary. That's, for instance, in cases of extremely high fever, that you feel you can't tough it out, you can't do it. I guess there's that. It's a small number of cases, I think. But if you can't tough it out, if you can't do it, that's what you're going to have to do. You'll take a Tylenol, but it'll be very sparing.
It
can be something that's very dangerous to the woman's health. In other words, a fever that's very, very dangerous and ideally a doctor's decision, because I think you shouldn't take it. And you shouldn't take it during the entire pregnancy. They may tell you that toward the end of the pregnancy, you shouldn't take it during the entire. And you shouldn't give the child the Tylenol every time he's born and he goes and has a shot. You shouldn't give a Tylenol to that child. All pregnant.
What the fuck are you fucking talking about, by the way? Also, by the way, like, this, like, strange fixation with a lot of far-right dipshits with, and conspiratorial people, also with, like, autism specifically, because it's only with autism with these people that they have, like, these particular fixations with, not with any other fucking, mental disability or fucking disorder. It's only just autism, because the point is that they want to play to a particular crowd, that being fucking conspiracy theorists. That is the primary purpose of them, basically, like, soying out and talking about, like, guys, autism, it's, like, really bad, it's the root cause of everything, it's going to cause, like, everyone to suffer and go, like, super, super crazy and all this fucking shit. It's just, like, even though there's just zero evidence to suggest that's the case, it's, like, complete, utter fucking nonsense. But again, the reason why it is specifically autism is because during the fucking whole vaccine scare shit during the 90s that Andrew Wakefield basically concocted, everyone and all these, like, conspiratorial dumbasses and motherfuckers just sort of had this fucking autistic fixation with autism about, like, how terrible and bad it is. It also doesn't help that there were a lot of advocacy groups like Autism Speaks that were also helping to exacerbate the fucking issue. Like, because there's just, like I've said before, autism is like any other fucking mental disorder. There's nothing particularly special about it. Like, the only reason why these motherfuckers sort of have, like, these particular fixations on autism specifically is because they've seen way too many videos about some dude having a autistic fucking spaz out, and then they have, like, some fear response justifying the fact that, we have to, like, basically ensure that there can be no instances of autism whatsoever, and we have to crack down on this shit as much and as aggressively as possible. Yeah. It's honestly, like, it's just some particular fixation, and there's a lot of fucking things to blame. General sort of media, ableism within society, yada yada yada, that has led to this sort of, I guess, position being catalyzed. It's a lot of fucking ableism, basically.
Women should talk to their doctors for more information about limiting the use of this medication while pregnant. So ideally, you don't take it at all. But if you can't tough it out, if there's a problem, you're going to end up doing it. The other thing that I can tell you that I'll say that they will maybe say at a little bit later date, but I think when you go for the shot, you do it over a 5-time period. Take it over 5 times or 4 times, but you take it in smaller doses and you spread it out over a period of years. And they pump so much stuff into those beautiful little babies.
So yeah, this is the fucking conspiracism right here, because this is what they're actually trying to play to. Just dumb fuck conspiracy theorists. Again, there's just zero evidence whatsoever to suggest that the MMR fucking vaccine causes, like, this complete utter, like, collapse, breakdown in, like, function in terms of, like, autistic proclivity, I suppose, for, like, a lack of a better term. There's just, like, nothing to suggest that is the case whatsoever. It's complete fucking nonsense. It's just, unironically, it's just a lot of fucking ableist bullshit coming from, well, the Trump administration.
It's a disgrace. I don't see it. I think it's very bad. They're pumping. It looks like they're pumping into a horse. You have a little child, little fragile child, and you get a vat of 80 different vaccines, I guess, 80 different blends, and they pump it in. So ideally, a woman won't take Tylenol, And on the vaccines, it would be good instead of one visit where they pump the baby loaded up with stuff.
Also, by the way, I have a question. Like, if they're gonna make a law about this, how are they going to enforce it? Like, immediate fucking question. How do you enforce this? Like, because most women are not gonna take, like, Tylenol. They're not just gonna pop Tylenol pills to get high or some shit. That's not what that's for. If anything, they do that with, like, fucking Oxy or, like, heroin or some other fucking shit. Some fucking opioid. And, Trump is not really going to regulate opioids ever. Because he probably, I don't know, has he received, like, money from the Sackler family or some shit? Like, who the fuck really knows? But, yeah, there's just, like, it's complete fucking nonsense. There's, like, just nothing to suggest whatsoever that this is really going to accomplish much of anything. Like, I guess, like, this is, like, just some real Grandpa Simpson moment talking about, like, well, I saw it on the TV. It said that the doctor man said that it's because of the vaccines. That's why. And it's just like, no, Grandpa, that dude was just a fucking conspiracy theorist and a complete crank. It's fucking nonsense, dude.
You'll do it over a period of 4 times or 5 times. I've been so into this issue for so many years just because I couldn't understand how a thing like this could happen. And you know it's artificially induced. It's not like something that when you go from all of those healthy.
Wait, okay, so is it artificially induced or is the fucking vaccines like? You got to pick one. It's not one or the other one. Like he's switching it up there.
To a point where I don't even know structurally if a country can afford it, and that's the least of the problems. To have families destroyed over this is just so terrible. I also, and we've already done this, we want no mercury in the vaccine. We want no aluminum in the vaccine. The MMR, I think, should be taken separately. This is based on...
Oh, so, by the way, all of those have been taken out of fucking vaccines, right? Like, in the fucking 90s, so that's cool.
What I feel, the mumps, measles, and all the 3 should be taken separately. And it seems to be that when you mix them, there could be a problem. So there's no downside in taking them separately. In fact, they think it's better, so let it be separate. The chicken...
There's no evidence for this whatsoever. Like, he's just spreading... It's all fucking conspiracy theories. Again, it's all about politics for this motherfucker. It's all conspiracism.
Pox is already separate, because when that got mixed in, I guess they made it 4 for a while, it really was bad. So they make chicken pox. Individually, they're okay. When you mix them, something maybe happens. So there's no downside in doing it. It's not like, oh, if you...
It's like, see how he's not, like, being affirmative in anything whatsoever? He's like, maybe a thing happens. Like, maybe this, like, thing kind of happens. But I don't know, folks. I have no idea. It's like, again, there's just no evidence. There's nothing, because there is nothing. Like, he's trying to, like, peddle the Andrew Wakefield talking points, but since he's a complete fucking idiot, he has, like, no idea what any of the talking points actually are, and so he's just, like, saying random shit and just hopes it fucking sticks, because he's a fucking moron, dude.
If you do it, bad things. No, it's only good side, and it may not have that much of an impact, but it may have a big impact. So let those be taken separately, and then
it may have an impact. It might
not. It's sexually transmitted. There's no reason to give a baby that's almost just born hepatitis B. So I would say wait till the baby is...
Is the only way hepatitis B transmitted sexually? What are the ways that hepatitis B can be transmitted? Hepatitis B is contacted with the blood, semen, or other bodily fluids of an infected person. So you're just wrong. It's not about it's not just fucking semen, you dumbass. It can also be blood. Someone got like a cut and they're infected with hepatitis B and they accidentally touch you or something. Oh, now you have a chance of getting hepatitis B. So that's cool. Sharing needles, drug equipment, which is why, by the way, that's why you clean your fucking goddamn needles, or not clean your needles. You never clean needles. You throw them out and then you also swap out fucking needles and you dispose the needles that were just used. Because that stops fucking infection. That's just germ theory. Like, I don't know. Like, are we just doing this at this point? Like, are we gonna get like the Nergalite Garden instead of just Florida being the main vector of the Nergalite invasion into the Materium? It's going to be the entirety of the United States of America because of this like complete doddering old man just peddling just really fucking idiotic, very constantly debunked conspiracy theories from fucking 30 years ago.
Is 12 years old and formed and take hepatitis B. And I think if you do those things, it's going to be a whole different, it's going to be a revolution in a positive sense in the country. The FDA will be updating the label of an existing drug to reflect potential benefits in reducing some autism symptoms. This gives hope to the many parents with autistic children that it may be possible to improve their lives. That's one of the things that I'm very, very happy about. I mean, this was mostly going to be on how not to have the child affected, but we've learned some pretty good things about certain elements of genius that can be given to a baby, and the baby can get better, and in some cases maybe substantially better. Not going to be easy, but be a lot easier if it didn't happen in the first place, as these great parents fully understand, right? They fully understand. I feel so terribly for... I have so many friends with autistic children. It's a tough situation.
I know a lot of people with autistic children. Not like talking about the sort of spectrum of autistic symptoms that those children might have, and also just not really sort of like talking whatsoever about like who has them. Like, you know, a lot of people, you are a media mogul, you're a businessman. Like, what kind of like symptoms are we like talking about here? Because again, autism is a spectrum, but in reality, it's all about the fucking conspiracism with him.
Finally, to help reach the ultimate goal of ending the autism fever, the NIH will be announcing 13 major grant awards from the Autism Data Science Initiatives. And to be honest with you, to me, that's the least important. It's not even a money thing at this point. There's so much money, but they have to do, and they have to move quickly. When the alternative is that nothing bad can happen, let's do it now. I was just saying to Bobby in the group, let's do it now. Nothing bad can happen. It can only good happen. But with Tylenol, don't take it. Don't take it. And if you can't live, if you...
So there it really is. He's saying Tylenol, don't take it, don't take it. So what do you think is the likelihood that Tylenol might go ahead with a defamation suit against the President of the United States? Like, let's be honest here, because this is defamatory. We just took a look at a thread in particular just debunking the sort of idea that Tylenol or acetaminophen or paracetamol, which aka Tylenol, is causing fucking autism. There's just no evidence of it whatsoever. Like, it is 0 fucking percent. Even at the tiny 5% risk it might happen. In reality, it was 0 after all the things were fucking accounted for, after talking about the fucking sibling controls. Like, there's just 0 evidence to suggest whatsoever that Tylenol is causing fucking autism. And of course, he has to also conflate it with the fucking vaccines as well, because again, he's just a fucking conspiracy theorist, and he's just playing to a particular crowd. That's the purpose of him saying all this shit. It's all about the conspiracism and going after the sort of, like, I don't know, like, for lack of a better term, like, RFK wing of the fucking coalition. That's what it is.
Your fever is so bad you have to take one because there's no alternative to that. Sadly, first question, what can you take instead? It's actually, there's not an alternative to that. And as you know, other of the medicines are absolutely proven bad. I mean, they've been proven bad with the aspirins and the Advils and others, right? And they've been proven bad. So I'd like to ask Bobby to get up.
Oh, so he's also saying that Advil is also been proven. Has it been proven bad? Like, I don't know. He's currently lying completely about fucking Tylenol. I have no reason to believe that Advil is also as bad as it is. Again, like, you talk with your doctor, and your doctor says, like, okay, this is what you should actually do. Again, 0 fucking evidence to suggest that taking these, like, particular drugs has, like, causes autism immediately within the fucking goddamn fetus in comparison to, well, environmental or genetic factors. But then again, like, he's just a conspiracy theorist.
Podium and say a few words, and then Dr. Bhattacharya and Dr. McCary, Dr. Oz, Dr. Fink, followed by 2 incredible mothers that have experienced firsthand what this country is going through, what parts of the world are going through. And I will say there are parts of the world that don't take Tylenol. I mean, there's a rumor, and I don't know if it's so or not, that Cuba, they don't have Tylenol because they don't have the money for Tylenol, and they have virtually no autism, okay?
Cuba, yeah, well known for not having any autism because of fucking Tylenol. What the fuck are you talking about? Dude, are you fucking stupid? Cuba probably doesn't have Tylenol because it's a U.S. drug and they're still under embargo, you fucking idiot. Like, Cuba, very well known for not having any autism whatsoever, folks. Let me tell you. It's so fucking stupid, man. Like, Cuba's under embargo still from the fucking U.S. That's why they don't have Tylenol there. Fucking stupid, dude.
Tell me about that one. And there are other parts of the world where they don't have Tylenol, where they don't have autism. That tells you a lot. And I want to say it right now. And you know the way I look at it? Don't take it. Don't take it.
Like, he just contradicted himself right now. Like, don't fucking take Tylenol. There's a lot of places that do have Tylenol but don't have fucking autism. That means they don't take the fucking Tylenol. But because of the fact that Cuba is under embargo from the United States of America and doesn't have any Tylenol, that means they don't have any fucking autism case. Like, again, it's complete fucking nonsense.
There's no downside in not taking it. So I'd like to ask Bobby to come up and say a few words. I hope I didn't ruin his day, but...
God, I'm so ready for Tylenol to just sue the absolute living fuck out of Trump right now, because again, what they're saying is honestly, this is defamatory because there's just no evidence whatsoever for what they're saying.
That's the way I feel. I've been very strong on the subject for a long time. You know, life is common sense too, and there's a lot of common sense in this. And I wish things like this were brought up. And this group has worked so hard on it. But I'd like to be
common sense. He parroted all the fucking Andrew Wakefield talking points with a bunch of like dumb fuck non-doctors. One's a TV doctor, one is a fucking attorney, and the other guy is an academic. So not actual medical doctors. So like it's spare me it, and he's like parroting Andrew Wakefield fucking talking points. It's so fucking stupid.
a little bit more, a little speedier in the process of a recommendation, because there's no harm in going quicker. There's absolutely no harm. At worst, there's no harm. Thank you very much, Bobby, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. To meet the President's challenge, I ordered HHS to launch an unprecedented all-agency effort to identify all causes of autism, including toxic and pharmaceutical exposures. President Trump's urging NIH, FDA, CDC, and CMS are turning over every stone to identify the etiology of the autism epidemic and how patients and parents can prevent.
Wait, the ideology of the autism epidemic? What? You're thinking that there's a political movement to try to like cause autism in everyone or some shit to make every fucking kid within the United States of America autistic or something? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what? Yeah, guys, it's actually Antifa that's the main one that's spreading the autism genes to, like, every American child to make them all as autistic as possible so that they all join Antifa or some shit. Like, okay, bro.
And reverse this alarming trend. We have broken down the traditional silos that have long separated these agencies, and we have fast-tracked research and guidance. Historically, NIH has focused almost solely on politically safe and entirely fruitless research about the genetic drivers of autism.
Why? That pretty much tells you fucking everything that you need to know. Yeah, like, this is gonna be complete fucking gobbledygook. It's just a fucking goddamn, like, conspiracy rag dipshit because, again, RFK Jr., quick reminder, would take basically any case in defense of people who were basically suing vaccine manufacturers, right? Because of, I don't know, like, whatever idiotic bullshit and conspiracy theories that they were fucking operating off of. He would basically take any one of their cases to court and argue in favor of, like, the anti-vaccine fucking person, like, consistently. So he has a vested interest in basically being as anti-vax as possible. Quick reminder, also, he was a part of the board of directors for one of the largest, if not the largest, purveyors of misinformation on the planet, which is Children's Health Defense, which basically peddled nothing but misinformation about children and vaccinations. So, whatever.
And that would be like studying the genetic drivers of lung cancer without looking at cigarettes. And that's what NIH has been doing for 20 years. As a result...
Oh, keep in mind also RFK Jr. basically gets rid of anyone that's, like, competent within the CDC, NIH, CMS, all of these fucking agencies. Because, unfortunately, people who are competent and actually care about helping people, unlike RFK Jr., who does not believe in public health, he does not believe in public trust. Again, like the reason should be fairly simple. He would take cases of people suing vaccine manufacturers for whatever bullshit happened to them in terms of vaccines. So he would always take those fucking goddamn cases and would basically just do like anything possible to just argue their cases within fucking court. So, like, I don't know, it's one of those situations, honestly, where it's just like, spare me it, dude. Like, you are totally okay with, like, people suffering more and more from, like, autism and all this fucking other shit, because in reality, with people like RFK Jr. and fucking Donald Trump, people who do not believe in the concepts of fucking public trust or public health or public good in any way, shape, or form, they would basically, like, allow for, like, the fecund sort of Nurglite garden to grow within the United States of America just for the express purpose of just having them be, like, vectors of disease for, like, literally everyone. So then they can go to a bunch of other private corporations and not have any trust within the government. It's all about fucking building low-trust societies with these people. Because it's a lot easier to control people if they are living in a low-trust fucking society, like the United States is right now. So, like, spare me it. Like, RFK Jr. has always had a vested interest in terms of, like, basically being as anti-vax as possible.
We don't have an answer to this.
Oh, yeah. Anyone who's, like, competent within RFK, he just gets rid of them because they go against everything that he fucking says. Because, again, he's a conspiracy theorist who is not a fucking doctor. He's an attorney. Like, complete fucking nonsense, dude.
Question. Despite the cataclysmic impact of the epidemic on our nation's children, we are now replacing the institutional culture of politicized science and corruption with evidence-based medicine. NIH research teams are currently testing multiple hypotheses with no area off limits. We promise transparency as we uncover the potential causes and treatments, and we will notify the public regularly of our progress.
Every time that they've said this, by the way, it's always been like a complete fucking nothing burger, just complete utter gobbledygook that is meant to play to like the dumb fuck lizard brains of fucking conservatives.
Today, we are announcing two important findings from our autism work that are vital for parents to know as they make these decisions. First, HHS will act on acetaminophen. The FDA is responding to clinical and laboratory studies that suggest a potential association between acetaminophen use during pregnancy and
potential
adverse
association,
outcomes,
by the way,
including later diagnosis for ADHD.
Because if they said that there was an association, they said potential, by the way, which means they actually haven't found anything. And guess what? There's not anything, so that's cool. They have to say potential there to make sure that they can't get fucking sued.
ADHD and autism. Science has proposed biological mechanisms linking prenatal acetaminophen exposure to altered brain development. We have also evaluated the contrary studies that show.
Oh, by the way, yeah, prenatal like acetaminophen exposure. Where have we heard something like this before? It's the exact same kind of talking point that Andrew Wakefield said, where he talked about how autism can be sort of caused from the, I don't know, like tears within the fucking anus or some shit of the MMR vaccine, and that's how you basically get like fucking autism or some shit. Like I'm butchering the Andrew Wakefield fucking talking point, but again, it's pretty fucking similar to that, and it's equally just as ridiculous and stupid.
Association. Today, the FDA will issue a physician's notice about the risk of acetaminophen during pregnancy and begin the process to initiate a safety label change. HHS will launch a nationwide public service campaign to inform families and protect public health. FDA also recognized that acetaminophen is often the only tool for fevers and pain in pregnancy, as other alternatives have well
They're just gonna start spreading misinformation. That's so fucking epic, dude.
documented adverse effects. HHS wants, therefore, to encourage clinicians to exercise their best judgment in the use of acetaminophen for fevers and pain in pregnancy by prescribing the lowest effective dose for the shortest necessary duration and only when treatment is required. Furthermore, thanks to the politicization of science, the safety of acetaminophen against the risk of neurodevelopmental disorders in young children.
Again, by the way, you notice how these guys keep talking about the fucking politicization of science? By the way, these are the motherfuckers who consistently politicize science. Like, I'll be quite honest. These guys will always implement and talk about fucking goddamn politics when it comes to, well, science and medical studies and whatnot. Like, these are the motherfuckers who bring politics into all this stuff by just peddling the utter idiotic fucking conspiracy theories. Like, it's complete fucking nonsense, dude.
Children has never been validated. Prudent medicine, therefore, suggests caution in acetaminophen use by young children, especially since strong evidence also has associated it with liver toxicity. Some studies have also found the use of acetaminophen in children can potentially prolong viral illnesses. FDA will drive new research to safeguard mothers, children, and families. In addition to a possible acetaminophen connection to autism for pregnant women, infants, and toddlers, our research has revealed that folate deficiency in a child's brain can lead to autism. We have also identified an exciting therapy that may benefit larger numbers of children who suffer from autism. Peer-reviewed literature has documented that up to 60% of folate-deficient children with ASD can improve verbal communications if given leucovorin. I have instructed NIH, FDA, and CMS.
Looperform. What the fuck is Looperform? Isn't this like some fucking thing from RFK's? Not RFK's, but iHerb, I think. I saw a post about this, right? Looperform? I don't know fucking what it's called. Looperform. A brand name from an extract from the lupin plant that is standardized to contain a specific mixture of alkaloids, including lupinine, spartine, and others. Does Dr. Oz fucking sell this shit? I'm curious. Dr. Oz iHerb. I saw a fucking post about this. Let me fucking double check it. Oh, there it is. By the way, iHerb, a company that Dr. Oz served as a global advisor for, still owns a major chunk in equity in, is the largest seller of folinic acid. It is the nondescript version of Lucrocorvin. As of today, it's been rapidly sold out. Yeah, so, again, it's all a fucking goddamn, like, grift. I mean, for Dr. Oz specifically, it's a complete fucking goddamn grift. So, again, it's complete, utter fucking goddamn nonsense. These people are grifters, and they're willing to sell out fucking public health for, well, in order to basically peddle the fucking grift.
help doctors treat children appropriately. Jay will help tell that story, which started with sound science, the kind that restores faith in government. The announcement of this announcement also represents a historic collaboration between NIH, FDA, CDC, and CMS. We expect this to be the first of many announcements over the coming years that deliver actionable information to parents on underlying cause of autism and the potential paths for prevention and reversal. Finally, autism is a complex disorder with multifactorial etiology. We are continuing to investigate a multiplicity of potential causes with no areas of taboo. One area that we are closely examining, as the president mentioned, is vaccines. Some 40 to 70% of mothers who have children with autism.
So here comes the fucking standard conspiracism. Here's the fucking RFK standard anti-vaccine fucking bullshit. Again, like, all the studies have been done. There is no correlation whatsoever between getting a fucking vaccine and it causing autism. They have been done. They have been consistently and talked about how the stupid, like, Andrew Wakefield bullshit, which is complete utter bullshit, because Andrew Wakefield was just a grifter looking to try to fucking sell a patent to a particular kit, right? He wanted to make millions upon millions of fucking goddamn dollars selling a fucking kit trying to detect, like, endocrinolar fucking autism or some shit. Like, basically fucking autism that was caused by, I don't know, shit being taken up the ass or some shit. It's complete fucking nonsense, dude.
Believe that their child was injured by a vaccine. President Trump believes that we should be listening to these mothers instead of gaslighting and marginalizing them like prior administrations. Some of our friends like to say that we should believe all women. But some of these same people have been silencing and demonizing these mothers for 3 decades because research on the potential link between autism and vaccines has been actively suppressed in the past. It will take time for an honest look at this topic by scientists. But I want to reassure the people in the autism community that we will be uncompromising and relentless in our search for answers. We will perform the studies that should have been performed 25 years ago. Whatever the answer is, we will tell you what we find. We are researching this issue in all 3 agencies. Jay will discuss one of our research initiatives at NIH. This model of unleashing unbiased, depoliticized, gold standard scientific research and academic freedom.
I love how they're talking about how this is unbiased and it's academic fucking freedom, and it's just like, there is a particular bias that's being shown here. It's a bias towards fucking conspiracism, which is, again, it's based off of nothing. The stupid Andrew Wakefield-esque fucking bullshit has been constantly fucking disproven by God knows how many studies at this point. But again, these, like, complete utter freaks and morons are still totally willing to peddle it because, fuck it, who gives a shit? In reality, like I've said before, dumbasses like RFK Jr. have a vested interest in terms of basically peddling as much vaccine misinformation as possible because, again, he is an attorney who would take any case of a person attacking, or trying to sue, basically, a vaccine maker for whatever bullshit they could fucking claim. Like, and he would always fucking take those cases. Always, always.
To deliver actionable information to prevent and reverse disease will be a model for the framework to deliver similar results for many other chronic conditions that plague Americans. Jay?
Thank you, Secretary Kennedy. And thank you, President Trump. Thank you very much. I'm proud to announce today that the NIH has launched the Autism Data Science Initiative.
We got Jay Bhattacharya.
$50 million to the cause of studying autism. Nearly 250 research teams from across the country applied, sent in their applications, and were peer-reviewed by the NIH review panels. The NIH peer reviews chose the 13 best projects focused on root causes and therapies, with replication and validation studies.
Oh, by the way, real fucking goddamn quick, Jay Bhattacharya, or Bhattacharya, rather, basically published a study within some medical journal. I don't know if it was the Lancet or whatever, but one of the medical journal that he has for his fucking school, or for the university that he worked for, basically claiming that vaccines basically should, like, honestly never be fucking used. Like, he's a fucking complete fucking conspiracy theorist.
Studies to guarantee gold standard science. The studies feature a new kind of science called exposomics, where scientists consider environmental and medical factors, nutrition, events during pregnancy, in combination with biology and genetics to answer vital questions about autism. Science like this, conducted in partnership with families and physicians, is the best way to arrest and reverse the autism epidemic. Autism spectrum disorder encompasses a very wide range of symptoms, ranging from mild difficulties with social interactions to profoundly autistic children who experience severe disabilities in speech and behavior. Given this wide range of symptoms across the spectrum, it seems certain that there will be a wide range of biological contributors to explaining the cause. The great thing about the new NIH initiative on autism is that scientists will use rigorous advanced methods in causal inference, machine learning, organoids, and other fresh approaches to the problem. The sharp rise in the prevalence of autism deserves an urgent response by the scientific community. As Bobby said, the NIH has invested a lot of money to study autism over the years, but the research has not produced the answers that families and parents of autistic children deserve, and autistic children themselves deserve. For too long.
Yeah, because, again, the reason why it's not the fucking goddamn ones that they deserve is because they believe in an utter fucking conspiracy theory that was fucking peddled by another fucking conspiracy theorist, that being Andrew fucking Wakefield. Again, I wonder what Andrew Wakefield is typically fucking up to right now. Oh, doing talks at, like, stupid, dumb fucking, like, anti-vaccine cruise ships or some shit. Like, that's what he fucking does right now. Like, it's completely stupid.
It's been taboo to ask some questions for fear the scientific work might reveal a politically incorrect answer. Because of this, restricted folks inside.
It's not because it's politically incorrect, you fucking moron. Notice how they always have to bring up politics into any of this stuff when it's not fucking political whatsoever. You guys are the ones who made it inherently political. You guys were the ones who did all this stuff with Andrew fucking Wakefield from the beginning when he started fucking testifying before people and making media tours, causing a, like, complete, like, sort of fear-mongering campaign over fucking vaccines, dude. Like, you people are the main ones who made it all fucking political, bro. It's so stupid.
Investigations. The answers for families have been similarly restricted, often pointing families to behavioral therapies that don't work for every kid or suggest non-modifiable genetic factors as the cause. But genetics alone can't explain such a sharp rise in autism prevalence over just a few decades, as the president said. In coming months and years, as NIH scientists learn more that can help autistic children and their families, we won't delay. Like scientists often like to do. I can say as a scientist myself, it's really tempting to delay, but but in the face of a problem like this, you have to move.
It gets delayed because they're trying to find all the fucking goddamn evidence for it, you dumbass. Like, that's why, dude. It's so stupid, man.
Fast. But we will not delay before telling American people what we find, and we will win the public trust with transparency and rigor. Already, our broadened focus on autism research has pointed to 2 items that will help families prevent and treat some cases of autism. I'll leave the good news on these 2 items to my close friends and colleagues, Dr. McCary and Dr. Ross. We've been working together closely on this problem for the past 6 months, and our cooperation represents an unprecedented collaboration with Secretary Kennedy's Department of Health and Human Services and with President Trump. I'm delighted to introduce Dr. Martin McCary, Commissioner of the Food and Drug Administration, who will tell you about these announcements of practical help for families with autism.
Great, thank you, Dr. Bhattacharya. Mr. President, this is the start of a historic shift in medical culture. This administration is working together to ask big questions about why our nation's children are getting sick so fast. Too often, medicine is doing small little studies, giving us answers we already knew. But we've got to make a difference. You've given us a charge to identify root causes, and we're not...
Well, no, the reason why people are getting more and more sick is because of their fucking material conditions getting worse and worse. Like, that's why they're getting... That's why it's getting worse, dude. It's not because of fucking Tylenol, for fuck's sake. This is so fucking stupid, man.
Going to stop so that we can end the suffering we are watching. And if you've seen a kid with autism, with severe autism, it's hard to watch. Kids get frustrated, they get angry, they can be crying because they want to speak and they can't speak. It's hard to watch, and it may be entirely preventable.
Again, by the way, you notice how they always go specifically only to the worst fucking goddamn cases about fucking autism? Like, let's be fucking honest here. There's a very, very specific reason why they always talk about the most extreme fucking cases. Because those are the ones that are sort of, like, more ostensively, like, I don't know, seen as worse, as bad as fucking possible. When in reality, like, again, autism is a fucking spectrum, right? Not everyone who has some form of fucking goddamn autism is unable to speak, unable to socialize, and unable to participate within general society. But then again, with people like this, they don't care about people being able to participate within general society. They hate general society. They want to basically have everyone be as balkanized and as individualized as possible. So they're willing to basically peddle any fucking conspiracy theory and any sort of, like, idea in order to make it such that it is impossible for people to be able to participate within broader sort of general fucking society. That's the actual point. They want everyone to suffer in, like, a sort of, like, private fucking system, and just to basically make everything significantly fucking worse for average fucking people. Like, because all they care about, fundamentally speaking, are the fucking rich. Like, if the rich are the only healthy ones, then that's okay for them. But the poor, who gives a fuck about any of them?
For an epidemiologist, that child is an expanding statistic. But for a child, it can be brutal to have autism. Today, the FDA is taking action to update the label on acetaminophen and sending a letter to all U.S. doctors letting them know about the risks in pregnancy. We now have data we cannot ignore. There's a very large study, the Boston Birth Cohort, with researchers that have, from Johns Hopkins, my former institution, and Boston University, found, quote-unquote, consistent associations between acetaminophen and pregnancy and autism. And
Who wants to make a bet? This is completely taken out of context, if I were to take a bet.
This health study with researchers from Yale, Columbia, and Harvard looking at 9,000 kids found that acetaminophen use in pregnancy was associated with neurodevelopmental disorders. And 4 weeks ago, a Mount Sinai Harvard study reviewed all the existing literature and found the overwhelming body of evidence points to an association. Sure, you'll be able to find a study to the contrary. That's how science works. But to quote the dean of the Harvard School of Public Health, there is a causal relationship between prenatal acetaminophen use and neurodevelopmental disorders of ADHD and autism spectrum disorder. We cannot wait any longer. And honestly, there's been this perfunctory, reactionary, mindless practice in medicine. I learned it in medical school and residency. Just treat all fevers, low-grade fevers, treat them with acetaminophen. Why? What are we doing? A study out of Hopkins actually showed that treating a fever can prolong the duration of illness in a young kid. Maybe that's because a fever is a body's...
Wait, what? Like, if you... Okay, so... Huh? if you treat a fucking goddamn fever with medicine that can actually prolong the fucking fever, what are you talking about? Are you fucking crazy? Like, oh yeah, guys, if you, I don't know, just, dude, take the fucking health supplements, do the whole fucking, raw milk shit and whatnot. That is totally what's going to make you feel better after, while having a fucking fever. Like, this is fucking insane, dude.
It's a natural way of ridding an infection. When my wife was pregnant and delivered our son a few months ago, they pushed her to take acetaminophen for a low-grade fever. She said no, and then they looked at me and I said, absolutely new. I'm also here to announce good news. Today, the FDA is filing a federal register notice to change the label on an exciting treatment called prescription leucovorin so that it can be available to children with autism. You know, autism may also be due to an autoimmune reaction to a folate receptor on the brain, not allowing that important...
Again, leucovorin, the exact same thing that iHerb, which is a company that Dr. Oz was on. Oh, it turns out all that shit fucking sold out. Again, don't believe anything from these fucking complete utter charlatans and grifters. For them, it's all about making a buck in the end.
Important vitamin to get into the brain cells. It's a fairly established, mature pathway. Again, we have a duty to let doctors and the public know. We're going to change the label to make it available. Hundreds of thousands of kids, in my opinion, will benefit. One study found that with kids with autism and chronic folate deficiency, 2/3 of kids with autism symptoms had improvement, and some marked improvement. Mr. President, you told us to do what's medically right, to go bold, and not worry about the corporations and the lobbyists, so that's what we're here doing today. Thank you, Mr. President.
Still, again, no evidence for any of this stuff. It's just complete fucking nonsense, dude.
Thanks, Marty. I think you all appreciate the passion in the president's voice. We've been hearing that since the inauguration.
Hi, Mehmet.
In fact, even before the inauguration, the president was upset about what he spoke to today. And so together with Secretary Kennedy, who's made his life's work to address some of these challenges with autism, they challenged us. In fact, they were harsher than that. They wanted no silos to break down what the NIH would do, what the FDA would do, what CMS would do. They insisted that the physician leaders bust through the clutter because our agencies had the power.
What is with this, like, weird talking point about the fucking silos? Like, the fuck are you talking about, bro? Like, yeah, the silos. There's always, like, this, complete bureaucratic red tape everywhere. It's like, dog, it's because we're talking about public health, man. Like, it is very important to be able to get that shit down pat, studied out effectively, and that a lot of regulations need to be basically put in place to make sure that people are healthy if they're taking things and putting things in, particularly in their fucking body. And so if you, like, throw as much bullshit and doubt into the wind as fucking possible and make that sort of, like, impossible for people to be able to determine any of that stuff, like, you're making it such that people are going to be more likely to believe in, like, complete crankery and quackery. And like I said before, Dr. Mehmet Oz has a fucking goddamn vested interest within for pushing as much bunk, complete utter conspiracy theory and nonsense. Like, again, part of the fucking company iHerb, he still owns a majority chunk of equity in, like, and he's basically benefiting it from this significantly. Like, it's complete fucking nonsense, bro.
We didn't do what every other prior administration had done, which is to let people function within their siloed environments. Because of that, in historic fashion and a very accelerated manner, we have a response today to the autism
Yeah, but the
crisis.
reason why there's siloed environments, by the way, is because there's certain people who are professionals and, like, have studied certain parts of medicine and science, and certain people have studied other parts of fucking medicine and science. Like, broadly speaking, do people understand just how fucking insane this stuff is? Like, it's not, like, people have different departments for different reasons. Like, Dr. Oz, like, they have them because, like, certain people are better in particular aspects and fields in comparison to others. Like, why have them all mixed with one another and potentially get in the way with each other? Because in reality, it's the confusion and the chaos is the point, right?
It is the first of several chapters, but this is breaking news. You've heard some of it. The response to the autism crisis is going to continue to come to you under Secretary Kennedy's leadership, and the president wouldn't have it any other way, as you've heard. The FDA, based on NIH research, is approving prescription leucovorin for treatment of autistic children. Now, if you're following the script, there should be two questions that you have. Two questions that should come to your mind. The first is, how will patients and parents get access to the treatment? I'll tell you how. Over half of American children are covered by Medicaid and CHIP, government health insurance. Over half. And therefore, because they're covered in Medicaid and CHIP, upon this label change by Marty, state Medicaid programs in partnership with CMS will cover prescription leucovorin around the country. It's yours, but you have to go to a doctor to get a prescription because they know your child, they know you, and they know the medication. States will also have tools to monitor its use and ensure appropriate utilization. That's important for a bunch of reasons because we want the right kids getting the right prescription medications. We believe private insurance companies will rapidly follow our lead if they have not already done so. And again, to make sure that this is a safe and effective treatment, you need a physician to prescribe the prescriptive medication because it's on prescription. Second big question. How are we going to collect clinical data to answer the big questions that the president's asking and Secretary insists that we offer? CMS is also issuing guidance to convene states and existing research networks to support NIH and FDA in their research efforts of prescription leucovorin, while also maintaining the privacy of all patients, all health information of our beneficiaries. Collecting real-world...
Who's ready for when all this shit fucking happens and all of the studies come out, nothing changes, and then they just decide to not change much of anything whatsoever, and they just decide to keep going on with this. Yeah, Trump does look like he's fucking dozing off. Again, like, we've taken a look at some of the studies. There's just, like, no there. It's nothing. It's a complete nothing burger because, again, all these charlatans have vested interests in terms of pushing quackery in order to make a buck. Like I said before, with Dr. Oz, he still is a global advisor and owns a majority chunk of equity within iHerb, which is a fucking supplement fucking company. And for specifically RFK Jr., he is an attorney who would take any case of people suing vaccine manufacturers. Again, like, all these people are complete grifters and charlatans.
Data, which is what many of you have been asking us to do in the community, is fast, it is life-saving, and we'll get answers based on what happens over the next few months with this approach. The aggressive approach, and is aggressive, demanded by the President and by the Secretary, have already identified risk factors and opened the door for the first FDA-recognized treatment pathway for autism. It is the first of its kind, and it wouldn't have happened without the leadership of the President and the Secretary. The fivefold increased prevalence of autism over the past 25 years demands a rapid response. The average clinician, researcher, we spoke to many, thought it would take 5 years to get this data. Parents are unwilling to wait 5 years. The President is unwilling to wait 5 years for these results. So the President and Secretary are acting today with this tri-agency move. The administration's bold actions investing in groundbreaking research follow the science. They restore trust, which has been lacking, and they will change the trajectory for millions of American families. Mr. President, God bless you for being brave.
Again, it's really funny how these dudes are saying that, like, there's been less trust within the fucking CDC. But it's because of these motherfuckers that there has been less and less trust within the fucking goddamn CDC. Because of all the public-private partnership bullshit that they keep doing, specifically with, well, issues of fucking public health. Like, I reiterate this exact same point consistently. The conservatives are the main problem here. Like, if the COVID vaccine was not done through a public-private fucking partnership, and it was the main beneficiaries were only that of the fucking American people, and it was provided through fucking state dollars, through fucking tax dollars, then people would have a lot more fucking trust, because it's just like, well, we know it's our guy who's basically doing all this stuff, and we know it's our money that's basically contributing to all this shit. Like, that's fucking why. It's complete fucking nonsense, dude.
Let me introduce Dr. Fink, who's acting administrator, and after that, Dr. Fink, we've got some wonderful women, Jackie and Amanda. I know it's going to be tough, but if you can make some comments about this historic day, God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. President, for this opportunity to speak with all of you today. As a pediatrician and mom, I'm here today to talk about what this announcement means for the millions of moms and dads who are faced with the choice of whether to take acetaminophen during pregnancy. It's hard to hear information that challenges the status quo. We are sharing this information not to confuse, but to empower parents to make the best choices when taking medications during pregnancy. We are all concerned about the rising rates of neurodevelopmental disorders, including autism. President Trump and Secretary Kennedy are dedicated to radical transparency so that patients have the best, most up-to-date information. We are also sharing this information with our nation's doctors, and we encourage you, as always, to consult with your doctor to make the best decision for you. All too often, it's easy to think that
I find it really funny that they keep saying, well, I mean, they have to say this for fucking legal reasons, like, that, oh, you have to consult with your doctor first, guys. It's just like, the reason why they have to say that is because, again, they could probably get sued. And I still think Tylenol should basically sue the fuck out of them for basically, well, specifically Trump just peddling complete fucking defamatory information about Tylenol, but, like, whatever, like, complete utter fucking nonsense from these, like, complete dipshits. But the only reason why they're saying the things that they're fucking saying is because, again, all these grifters have a particularly vested fucking interest in trying to push as much vaccine disinformation as possible. Like, that's the fucking point, dude.
medicines we buy without a prescription pose little to no risk for the mom or the baby. As you heard today, pregnant women who need high fever or pain reduction during pregnancy should take the lowest effective dose of acetaminophen for the shortest possible duration. Most women will not meet these indications during
We've
their
already
pregnancies.
looked at the studies about this. It's
I'm
just
encouraged
a
by
lie.
these developments today because it is another example of our commitment to the American people to leave no stone unturned in improving the health of our nation's children. Next, I'm going to turn it over to some incredible...
Oh, also, yeah, I forgot to say, like, yeah, the reason why it's really funny they keep saying, like, well, talk with your doctor about this. It's because, like, basically anything that they say, a doctor would fucking contradict anything. That they, unless they're, like, complete, utter conspiratorial cranks like, well, them.
Others who are going to share more about their stories, and we're so grateful to have you here today.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President and team, for all your work. This is an historic day. I'm thankful to be here. I have a son who's 5 who is profoundly autistic, and you've probably heard if you've met one autistic child, you've met one autistic child. It's a spectrum, which I don't think the spectrum is helpful, but that's another conversation. He is an amazing little boy, a blessing from God. He's marvelous. He can count to 1,000. He knows all of his letters and the sounds they make and a word for each one. But he also has a lot of obstacles. He is nonverbal. He can say those numbers and letters, but there's no communication. Unless you've lived with profound autism, you have no idea. You have no idea. He, like you said, he will get frustrated because he can't speak. It's not even that he can't speak, sometimes he just doesn't understand what I'm saying. He understands the word no, but he doesn't understand the why behind the no. And that's a huge part of discipline. That's the discipline. So it's very hard to discipline a child with autism so you have these behaviors. And it's a very hopeless feeling. And it's very isolating being a parent with a profound autistic child. Even just taking them over to your friend's house is something we just don't do because, again, you're going to be met with no, 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 and no understanding of why. And then there's a meltdown. And then you're in a situation.
Are we just gonna bring up like these complete dumbass conspiracy theorists like as anecdote fucking I don't give a fuck about any of this shit. Like yeah, like well, stupid dumb fuck conspiratorial wine moms are blaming the vaccines on fucking autism. Like they're just bringing them in as like political pawns and props to try to reiterate their lie, which has been proven to be a lie. It's just complete utter fucking nonsense, dude.
Lives, and I'm speechless. This day is a day I never thought would happen. I thought that we would never have an administration that was courageous enough to look into things that no prior administration had.
Also, by the way, it's not that they're courageous enough. They're just saying a fucking lie. It's just a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's just a fucking lie, dude.
So it's essentially Tylenol. And I just recommend strongly that you don't use Tylenol.
Wait, hold on. What were we saying about Tylenol before?
From this, and hopefully we just get more answers. So thank you.
Thank you very much. So I just want to say acetaminophen is basically Tylenol, essentially, because I noticed that term is used throughout this conference. So it's essentially Tylenol. And I just recommend strongly that you don't use Tylenol unless it's absolutely necessary. I understand it's maybe 10% of the women that are pregnant are, would perhaps be forced to use it. And that would mean you just can't tough it out. No matter what you do, you can't tough it out. So that's up to you and your doctor. But there's a very strong recommendation, maybe stronger from me than from the group because they're waiting for certain studies. I just want to say it like it is. Don't take Tylenol. Don't take it. If you just can't, it's fight like hell not to take it. There may be.
It's definitely he's just doing defamatory shit. Again, we took a look at the studies, man. Like, it's bullshit. He's just saying defamatory fucking shit. This is fucking credible. Saying that it's like, oh, it's acetaminophen, it's all fucking Tylenol, it's all Tylenol's fault. Like, I'm telling you, like, I'm waiting. Like, it's gonna fucking happen. Like, they're gonna get fucking sued for this shit for just spreading complete utter fucking misinformation. It's complete nonsense, dude.
The point where you have to, and that you have to work out with yourself. So don't take Tylenol. Other things that
Don't
we
take it,
recommend, or
folks.
certainly I do anyway, is and it's so important to me to see the doctor 4 times or 5 times for a vaccine. Don't let them pump your baby up with the largest pile of stuff you've ever seen in your life going into the delicate little body.
Again, another fucking lie. Like, that's just not how it is. Like, again, there's no evidence to say that the MMR fucking vaccine. Like, there's literally a comedian bit about this where, like, the comedian got, like, scared, apparently, because the baby was just, like, acting in a particular way, like, very, very tired and stuff like that, and just was, like, acting kind of slow after taking the fucking vaccine. But then the dude reasoned it out. It's like, oh, it's probably because of the fucking goddamn, like, the vaccine doing its fucking work. Like, that's how it's supposed to fucking work, by the way. Like, complete utter fucking nonsense. Yeah, delicate little body, dude. Like, yeah, sure, bro. Like, we all know why he's using this language in particular. It's to trigger fear responses within the lizard brains of these people, right? That's the point. Like, and again, like, all of these grifters, they're just saying these things for their grift, right? Like, Trump himself already did a bunch of contradictions to his own fucking positions, talking about how there's other countries that do have Tylenol but seemingly do not have much fucking autism rates. Like, it's like, that's a little interesting. Well, why is that the case? Could it be because their detection methods are just not as good as the United States is? They don't have as good medical technology as the fucking United States? No, I don't know. Oh, yeah, 1000%, Boy Meets Minnie. Yeah, a lot of people, I can tell, probably in, like, a lot of different third world countries or, like, areas that are more impoverished are not able to access fucking vaccines because of, well, dipshits like this. Like, it's so fucking stupid, and they can't access them because they're too poor. Like, meanwhile, like, these morons just say, like, complete utter nonsense. It's like, well, who gives a shit, whatever.
Body of a baby, even if it's 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, you just break it up into, I would say 5, but let's say 4 visits to the doctor instead of 1. And certain things I think you should do. We've already taken out and are in the process of taking out mercury and aluminum now. You know what mercury is. You know what aluminum is. Who the hell wants that pumped into a body? And there were rumors about both of them for a long time. But
as far as I can remember, all of that stuff was already not in fucking vaccines. So, yeah, it's stupid.
We're having them taken out. We're having them taken out of the vaccines. Hepatitis B, again, that's sexually transmitted. And we think you should wait. I think you should wait till 12.
Hepatitis B is not sexually transmitted only. It is through contact of any bodily fluid. Semen, blood, saliva of someone infected, and if it gets into a wound, you can get potentially infected with hepatitis B. He's lying again.
I'm just making these statements from me. I'm not making them from these doctors because when they talk about different results, different studies, I talk about a lot of common sense, and they have that too. They have that too a lot. But I recommend the hepatitis B. Take it at 12. sexually transmitted. You don't have to give it to the baby when the baby's 2 years old, and there are a lot of theories on that, but not when they're 12. It's not, doesn't seem to be a problem at all. The MMR and the chickenpox. Chickenpox has already been broken out. It's a singular shot, but the MMR is not. And I've heard for years that there's a problem with it. But they say that there's no problem if you do each shot separately, not put together. So an MMR, go out and do it separately. Don't take Tylenol. Don't give Tylenol to the baby after the baby's born. Every time the baby gets a shot, the baby gets a shot. They say, here, take a cup of Tylenol. I've heard that for years. Take Tylenol. Don't take Tylenol. Don't have your baby take Tylenol. Now, Tylenol is fine for people that aren't pregnant, that aren't in a situation. That we're talking about one very specific situation. If you're pregnant, don't take Tylenol. When you have your baby, don't give your baby Tylenol at all, unless it's absolutely necessary. Don't do it. Break up your visits to the doctors. Break them up. Do it in 5 if you can. Now, it's inconvenient. It's inconvenient. Oh, you're going to have to go back another year later. You're going to go back each year for 4 years, 5 years, 3 years. Just break it up. Break it up. Because it's too much liquid. Too many different things are going into that baby at too big a number. The size of this thing, when you look at it.
I've already mentioned this, this is the exact same fucking shit, by the way. Like, we've talked about how this is just a complete lie. All the studies have been done about this, where it's just complete fucking nonsense. Like, it is a lie. There's no evidence at all to suggest that it's basically being caused whatsoever in like all the different like vaccines that are being taken by multiple fucking in like one place or whatever, and is being fucking done into a baby or some shit. There's like no evidence to suggest whatsoever that basically it's causing like autism or symptoms of autism within fucking children. There's just none whatsoever. The studies have been done. They're out there. There are so many of them. It is this other complete fucking nonsense. Yeah, it is true that painkillers can be abused, but the problem, obviously, with that Boy Meets Mini is because of, well, the Sackler family putting opioids into those fucking goddamn, like Oxycontin into those fucking painkillers. That is what made them fucking addictive, right? It's not painkillers in of themselves are meant to be addictive. It is that a particular company, a particular dynasty who made, well, painkillers, that being the Sacklers, put certain ingredients within those painkillers because it was more profitable for them to do as such, and as a result had broader sort of consequences as, like, well, you know, a general sort of byproduct of all, like, codone being what was put in those painkillers, which got people fucking addicted to them. Like, but these people don't give a fuck about any of that shit.
It's like 80 different vaccines and beyond vaccines, and 80. Then you give that to a little kid. I mean, I can tell you that I had
I thought it was like 4 or 5. Now it's 80 different vaccines. Again, like, a lot of these people, generally speaking, just have to completely throw out as much, like, nonsense and bullshit into the wind. And Trump does this consistently, where he overinflates numbers. He loves to overinflate numbers consistently. For the simple fact that, it sounds a lot more scarier if it's a bigger number, because bigger numbers are scary, you know? Like, yeah, it's just an exaggeration for the express purpose of fear-mongering.
For me, a beautiful, wonderful woman worked in Trump Tower, and she had the most perfect child. Beautiful, just perfect. And I remember this little blonde-haired boy running around the lobby of Trump Tower, so healthy and so vibrant. And I said, that's great. One day, I came in and she was crying her eyes out behind the counter. She worked at the front desk. She was crying her eyes out. I've never... As much as I've ever seen anyone distraught, she was. I said, are you okay? What happened? My boy, I've lost my boy. What does that mean, your boy? My boy, you know him, sir. You've seen him grow up. He was so beautiful. And I took him for a vaccine, sir. And he developed this unbelievable, I think she said 107, 108. You know, it goes well beyond when this happens. It goes up to 106, 107, 108. You know, we hear 105 and you're in trouble, but it just goes up to a level that you never hear about.
What is he fucking cavorting about right now? Like, what are you saying? Like, what is that the number of fucking vaccines that are being taken out? I thought it was 80. I thought it was 4 or 5. Like, what the fuck are you saying, dude? Again, like, gotta increase the fucking dumb fuck number constantly, because, again, it sounds scarier if number is bigger. Like, in the minds of these, the lizard brains of these fucking people.
But it goes up very high, and they get fried. She said, I took him, he developed an unbelievable temperature. And I've lost him, sir. He's gone. And then I saw the boy. It was so tragic to see. That was the following day.
Because the kid got a fucking fever or something? Like, what are you talking about, dude?
That was the following day after the vaccine. And I've seen it 2 other times, and I think 3 other times, but 2 other times, where they go to the doctor and they get the vaccine, they get the shot, the kid is, badly hurt. Let's be nice, badly hurt. And just do it. Break it up into 5, break it up into 4, break it up into 3 if you have to, but go to the doctor 4 times instead of once, or 5 times instead of once. And for some reason, they insist that you put it all into the body, and maybe that's the drug companies that make more money that way. Maybe it's the doctors because they don't want to be, doing this so much. Maybe it's the doctors that get maybe more money. Who the hell knows what it is? Don't do it. Get them broken into 4 or 5 visits. Do it 4 or 5. That means you have 20%, 25% what you're putting into the baby's body. It can only help. And the other things I told you about, just the word tough it out. It's easy for me to say tough it out, but sometimes in life with a lot of other things you have to tough it out also. Don't take Tylenol. Don't give Tylenol to the baby. When the baby's born, they throw it at you. Here, give him a couple of Tylenol. They give him a shot. They give him a vaccine. And every time they give them a vaccine, they're throwing Tylenol. And some of these babies, they're long born, and all of a sudden they're gone. And it doesn't hurt not to do it.
Again, what the fuck is he talking about? Again, it's just complete bunk. It's nonsense, dude. He's just lying. Like, I don't know. I'm waiting for the Tylenol defamation suit at this point. I'm ready.
It doesn't hurt. There's no downside. There's no downside at all. And break up MMR. Break it up. It's practically a known fact that if you break it up, you're not going to have a problem. But for years, we've been hearing how bad MMR is as a combination. And I'm very happy that you broke out chickenpox because that was really a problem. And there are other things. It's interesting because there are other things. We were talking about other different drugs, pills that you take that we know are so bad and they don't take them anymore. But for some reason, with this, they keep taking it. Don't take Tylenol. There's no downside. Don't take it. You'll be uncomfortable. It won't be as easy, maybe. But don't take it. If you're pregnant, don't take Tylenol. And don't give it to the baby after the baby is born. And you know what? We have more than 3 years left. And I told Bobby and the doctors behind me, they are so committed to this. I told them that
as I've said before, none of them are doctors. RFK Jr. was an attorney. Jay Bhattacharya is also not a medical doctor. He is he's an academic. And Dr. Mehmet Uz is a, TV doctor. Not fucking credible whatsoever.
This is the number one thing I want to do from you. And we have something else called Favored Nations. We're going to be reducing drug prices by 1,000%, by 900, 600, 500, 1,200. We're going to be reducing drug prices at levels never seen. It's called Favored Nations.
Oh yeah, by the way, in terms of his idea to try to lower basically drug prices is by saying well, I'm just going to do tariffs basically, and I'm just going to not order drugs from the Europeans unless they just give us a better deal for it. And it's just it's complete utter nonsense. It's not how you do it. You're supposed to the reason why drug prices are lower within European nations and in Canada specifically, basically he's saying to other nations, you need to pay as much as us for drugs. That's my mistake. The reason why European nations and Canada specifically pay less for fucking drugs is because our states, our federal fucking governments, negotiate with the drug companies saying you can sell this for this much. If not, well, eat shit, die. You're not gonna fucking do business here. So I don't know. You're either going to have this price for our shit, whether you like it or not, and in order to be able to participate within our market, you're going to set this price for these particular drugs. You can still get your fucking profit, even if you make it for this price. You still get this much profit, and that's what you're going to fucking sell those drugs for in our fucking goddamn country, whether you like it or not. Yeah, gotta make people go to church and pray more. That's true, Boy Meets Minnie.
We're going to be paying right now. We're like a garbage can for the rest of the world, and we have been for forever. We pay much higher for drugs than the rest of the world. We subsidize the rest of the world. We're not doing that anymore, and that's a big thing. That's
lie, by the way. It's again the states, the federal fucking governments of those states, basically negotiate against the fucking drug companies, saying you're going to sell those drugs for this price, whether you like it or not, or you won't participate within our markets.
It's a big thing. It's bigger than anything. I told the story the other night that I was so proud of my first term that for the final year, drug prices went down 1/4%, and I was so proud. I said, "Why?" I'm the first one to do it. I think it was 28 years, they said, where drug prices went down from the beginning of the term to the end. And I was so proud. I called a news conference. I said, drug prices have gone down. First time it's happened in 28 years. You know what it was? 1/4%.
That was more than likely because of Build Back Better and the IRA, where Joe Biden was, in fact, the main person who passed the fucking legislation, the bill that reduced the prices of about 10 drugs within the United States of America. It wasn't him.
I was so proud. Now we're going to have them go down from $100 a pill to $9 a pill, from $1,300 for a shot of an Ozempic or I call it the fat pill or the fat drug. Sometimes it works, I guess, for people. The ones I've seen, it hasn't worked so well. A lot of friends have fat. And they said, I lost some weight. I said, you don't look it to me. But they pay $1,300, $1,200, and they go to London and they pay $88. And they call me, they go, what's this all about?
Bro, what the fuck are you talking about the fucking Zemp for, dude? What do you mean? Bro, the only reason why he's saying this is because his dumbass has been on the Zemp. Let's be honest here.
We're subsidizing the rest of the world stupidly because there are a lot of stupid people in this country running things. And how big is
no
that? For me, that's nothing compared to autism.
Still, by the
I see
way.
that gorgeous boy. I have a big present for him in the back. You bring him back. We're going to bring him into the Oval Office. I have the best present he's ever going to get, okay? A big one. I saved it for you, okay? Because I heard you were coming. Look how beautiful he is. So that's it. There's nothing much to say. Don't take Tylenol if you're pregnant, and don't give Tylenol to your child when he's born or she's born. Don't give it. Just don't give it. And we're going to have, I think, really, if you do all the things that I say, break it up. Just break it up. Break up the shots with the doctor. MMRs, as I told you, separate. Chickenpox already separate. You do these things. I'm telling you, I want it when I leave office. I don't want to have, it's going to be the kind of number that we're hearing where it's 1 in 32 or 1 in 10, because I've heard 1 in 10 also. And in California, it's really bad. I want it to be, let's get it back to maybe 1 in 10,000 or 1 in 20,000.
I wonder why he has a particular hyperfixation with California. I'm gonna, you know, it's because he hates Gavin Newsom specifically. That's why.
But maybe none in 20,000. And the only way you're going to do that, because this is artificially induced. This is induced by something. You don't go from 1 in 20,000 to 1 in 10,000, then to 1 in 10. That means you take...
We've already talked about the main reasons. Also, he's fucking up with the statistics on purpose. The reason why it is like that is because diagnoses has gotten way better. That is why. Like, it's complete fucking nonsense, dude.
In something, and something's wrong. And I feel very certain, and I know I'll be criticized.
It's
someday
the
they'll look back and
vaccines,
they'll say, well,
folks.
it wasn't, but I think it will. I think we're going to have a tremendous... this is the most important thing. There's nothing more important than me. We cured inflation that Biden gave us. He gave us so much inflation, the biggest ever in history. We got inflation done. We brought
It's
prices
because
down.
of
We did the largest
inflation,
tax cuts, all that
folks.
stuff. It doesn't mean a thing compared to what
By the way, inflation is going back up because of his, like, dog shit fucking tariffs. So,
we're doing today.
nice
This
man.
means everything. So we're going to save a lot of children from a tough life, really tough life. We're going to save a lot of parents from a tough life. Okay, how about a few questions? Let's just make it another subject. This is so beyond as a subject that I'd rather not talk about, you know, some nonsense on the economy. And I will say this, the economy...
I wonder why you don't want to talk about the economy, because it's currently shitting the bed right now, my dude. Like, yeah, listen, I don't want to talk about the economy because I totally had nothing to do with making the economy worse, folks. Let me tell you, it wasn't me.
is unbelievable. The stock market just hit another record high and all that stuff. This means more to me. Yeah, please.
Oh, by the way, yeah, like, again, the reason why he only talks about the stock market and not the job market, not the labor market, not the US dollar, basically being worth 0.85 of a fucking goddamn euro, for example. So there's also that right now. Or rather, 8.5 euros is like a $1 is, yeah, worth 0.85 euros. Rather, in terms of like currency exchanges, the US dollar has been significantly weakening. Let's not talk about the bond market. It's all about the stock market for this motherfucker, because in reality, he is in service for one set of people, generally speaking. The only person, that being, is the corporations and the rich. They are the only ones who care about very, very high fucking stock prices. That's all he cares about.
I have one on your announcement, one on vaccines. That's also really
Yes.
good. Why do you think we haven't heard more previously about the tie to autism and acetaminophen?
Nobody knows. I don't know. Not only that, when you say it, you get it.
Because it's bullshit. That's why. Nobody knows. And why haven't we heard more about this? Because it's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's a conspiracy theory.
Attacked. I was saying something similar, not as strongly, because now facts are on our side. But I was saying it with Bobby 20 years ago, and I was attacked. I said, whoa, what was that all about?
They're
I had no
not.
idea. You get attacked. I don't know. The medical community.
Because again, all of these fucking goddamn conspiracy theories that Andrew Wakefield put out, that you are also parroting really, really poorly, have all been debunked. Like, by every medical institution. There was literally a fucking goddamn, like, health scare about this. There was a health scare about this. And it was caused by utter fucking freaks like your fucking self, conspiratorial fucking morons like your fucking self, who were trying to, like, basically find anything possible, anything fucking possible, in order to be able to just justify the fact that vaccines cause autism. And guess what? A lot of people fucking died because of fucking measles. A lot of children, specifically within the UK, died because of measles because of that. There has been an increase in measles cases within the United States of America because of this fucking complete dumbass, RFK Jr., taking the fucking reins within HHS. So, like, spare me it, dude.
Drug companies, doctors, I don't know what it is. All I want to do, I don't care about being attacked. It doesn't matter to me. I believe that the numbers at the end of our term or shortly thereafter could be really phenomenal. I wanted to go up just like it came down to this horrible level. 1 in 10, 1 in 12. I was told 1 in 10. I was told 1 in 12. Today I heard 1 in 31 if you add the girls and the boys together. It's crazy. And it was 1 in 10,000 and 1 in 20,000. It's not even sustainable for a country. You want to know the truth. And there are other places that don't have it. And they have things in common. And that's called medical research. Yeah, please.
I'm curious, as you look at the trend lines,
Yeah.
how much of this is the causation of acetaminophen and how much is sort of better diagnosis, doctors, researchers having a better understanding of what is on the autism spectrum?
Go ahead.
That's a pretty good fucking question there by that reporter. So they're definitely not fucking coming back. Yeah, instantaneously. Listen, obviously Trump's not going to be able to properly respond to that shit, so we need fucking Nergalite champion McGee over here to say, like, whatever idiotic bullshit instead.
That's one of the canards that has been promoted by the industry for many years. It's changed diagnostic criteria, better recognition. But there's been study after study done of that completely debunks that. One of them by the...
Bullshit. I don't fucking believe him for even 3 seconds. This motherfucker has consistently lied about everything. Everyone who has worked with him has said that he consistently lies about everything. Every fucking medical professional says that he has been consistently lying about everything. He's a liar. I'd love to see those fucking goddamn studies. If it's some stupid shit from Jay Bhattacharya, then I don't fucking believe that for even 3 fucking seconds. The dude who said basically anyone who fucking takes vaccines should just basically not be taking any of that shit anymore. You should do everything possible to not fucking take vaccines, and wrote a stupid entry in a medical journal to basically justify that sort of take. Complete nonsense, dude.
Mind Institute at UC Davis, University of California. But also it's just common sense, because you're only seeing this in people who are under 50 years of age. If it were better recognition or diagnosis, you'd see it in 70-year-old men. I've never seen this happening in people my age. I've never seen a case of full-blown autism, and that means profound autism. I'm going to be very careful. Headbanging, stimming, toe walking, nonverbal, non-toilet trained. I've never in my life seen a 70-year-old man who looks like that. You're only seeing it in kids. It's an epidemic.
Nonsense. There's just, again, no evidence for this whatsoever. He's just fucking lying here. There's just nothing. Because again, he has a vested interest in trying to make it all about vaccines and trying to reduce people's belief within fucking public health as much as fucking possible. Because again, what was RFK Jr. doing before he was at not NHS but HHS? He basically was a lawyer. He was a lawyer. He's not a medical professional. He doesn't have his doctorate or his MD or anything. But he was a fucking lawyer who would take cases of people suing vaccine manufacturers. For him, he has a vested interest in this. He's a grifter.
Thank you, Mr. President. I was hoping that you could clear up confusion for moms and dads across America, many of whom voted for you. There's a statement that was put out by the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, and in their statement, they write, acetaminophen remains a safe, trusted option for pain relief during pregnancy, and that's at odds with what you said and with what many of the experts say. How do you clear up this confusion?
That's the establishment. They're funded by lots of different groups. And you know what? Maybe. They're right. I don't think they are, because I don't think the facts bear it out at all. They're fighting for something that, in my opinion, they shouldn't be fighting for. But here's the thing. There's no downside to doing, other than a mother will have to, as I say, tough it out a little bit. There's no downside to doing this. It's not like, oh, if you do this, you're going to die. There's no downside. There's no downside to going over a 4-year or 5-year period or a 3-year period, or even if you
There is a downside. The fucking goddamn studies have already borne it out. Like, he's just lying. He's just lying, dude.
space them out for 6 months. You space it out. There's no downside. And that's why I will say, the gentleman behind me, they have very strong views, and they feel that we're right. But they'll have more research done over the next 2 months. I said, well, 2 months is a long time. A lot of people...
Wait, okay, so then why are you making these fucking claims? If, like, you're still doing more research into this? Really? They're still doing more fucking research into this. So, again, what they decided to put out there was just complete, utter nonsense. Like, it's not even completely conclusive fucking data. Because, again, if they were to commit and say it's conclusive data, they may be opening themselves up to fucking libel, right? Because, again... Fucking Donald Trump is saying that, oh, it's all because of Tylenol. It's all fucking Tylenol. When the evidence points to the exact opposite case. His dumbass is gonna get sued. 1,000 fucking %, dude.
Could be safe. And there's no downside to doing it. Everything I said, there's no downside to doing it. It can only be good. And I think you're gonna see very good results. That's establishment stuff. And we've been reading that about a lot of things for years. And you know what's happened? We've gone from 1 in 20,000 to 1 in 10,000 to 1 in 32 to 1 in 10. Think of it. 1 in 10 or 12 or 1 in 31. Think of it. 1 in
Look at all
31
these numbers.
Young kids get autism. What is it, Jeff?
My question is about Leucovorin. You mentioned that as part of your plan. That is also a chemotherapy treatment. Have you been in touch with the drug companies to
Well,
increase
I don't
production
have
about
a
that? I'm going to throw in my follow-up at the same time. Dr. Oz mentioned that this will be available with CHIP, children who are on CHIP. But the big beautiful bill reduced funding for CHIP and Medicaid by $1 trillion over the next 10 years. Are you concerned that that will impact your ability to get this drug
I'll
out?
explain to you in a second, but please go ahead.
Thank you. Leucovorin is not a chemotherapy, but it is a vitamin given with chemotherapy sometimes. And the idea here is that the folic acid receptor in the brain is blocked by some antibody response. It might be 20, 40, 50% of kids with autism. And Leucovorin will bypass that blocked receptor. And that's why so many doctors are probably seeing so much clinical improvement on kids with Leucovorin.
So are you going to increase production?
Yeah, we've been in touch with the companies, and they are prepared to ramp up production. We actually talked to them about a month ago.
And on your second part of your nasty question, the number is that the great big beautiful bill, which is the greatest, I think one of the best things ever passed in the history with the tax cuts and
which, by the way, cuts Medicaid, and because of the cuts within the fucking great big one big beautiful bill, also triggers the fucking pay-go stipulations and will also cause a cut to Medicare. So it's cutting healthcare and social safety nets.
Regulation cuts and all of the things it does. No tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. All of it does. It also gives $200 million, as just explained by Dr. Oz. And I'd like you to explain that, Doctor, do exactly what you're saying. The Big Beautiful Bill actually increases Medicaid spending projected over the next 10 years by $200 billion. There's also a $50 billion rural health transformation fund, which will allow a lot of these programs to get in the rural parts of the country that the president and Congress are handing to governors to start distributing. Those grants have already gone out. The money will...
Oh, by the way, like, then why the fuck is every fucking rural hospital, not every one of them, but a lot of rural hospitals already fucking preemptively closing? Like, it's bullshit, man. It's just complete nonsense, dude.
Be allocated by the end of this calendar year. And I want to point out that the ability of NIH to do research that feeds and hands the ball to the FDA, which they can change labeling to allow Medicaid programs in states to fund this program, will ensure that the things that President Trump and Secretary Kennedy desire are financially affordable for the families around America.
You mentioned chips, that's why I asked that question. You mentioned that chip would fund this for children.
Most of the kids are on Medicaid, probably 43% on Medicaid, another 8-10% on CHIP, and all the programs in general are being evaluated. Most of what the One Big Beautiful Bill was seeking to do was to
which
move forward
have all
with
been
these,
cut, by the way.
financially intact for the people for whom they were designed, in this case for children. And the only thing we cut, so
they've all been cut, by the way.
The only thing we cut was for fraud, waste, and abuse, of which there was a lot in this country, and nobody.
Again, that's a fucking excuse to do fucking tax cuts for the rich. There is no evidence to say that there was fraud, waste, and abuse within Medicaid or Medicare or within any of these fucking social safety nets. It's a lie. Also, yeah, that's a good point there, Boy Meets Minnie. Yeah, More Perfect Union has done a fucking video that's recently investigating rural hospitals. Yeah, infant mortality rates have been going up, and it's because of these fucking cuts. Like, spare me it, dude.
Mindset, yeah, please.
So you said that there was no reason to give newborn babies hepatitis B vaccines. But hepatitis B can be contracted not just during sexually transmitted diseases, from needles to open wounds. So when you say you feel, is that appropriate to be telling?
I think it's absolutely appropriate. I think they should wait till they're 12 years old. Yes, please.
Mr. President, thank you for being here. You've been talking about.
Oh, so he's just gonna completely ignore that? Like, he just got instantaneously fucking debunked. Like, instantaneously. Just, yeah, whatever, I don't care. Fuck you.
Reducing autism by spacing out vaccines. Would you like other combined vaccines babies receive to be spaced out like MMRV?
What is this again?
You've been talking.
Speak up, please.
Sir, you've been talking about reducing autism by spacing out vaccines.
Correct.
Would you like the other combined vaccines babies receive to be spaced out like MMRV?
I would say yes, but that just is, for me, it's a lot of common sense involved in this. It's a process, but we're looking, but it should at least be given separately. Now, it's possible that you can reduce them and give them in small doses, but it's possible maybe in that particular case, the MMR wouldn't work in small doses, but you can certainly give them in separate shots. It's been proven to be very safe when you give them in separate shots instead of mixing. So I don't think there's any reason to do that. Do you agree with it? I'm not a doctor, but I'm giving my opinion. I don't think there's any reason to do that. So it's been proven to be safe when you break them up.
Well, I mean, none of the other people that you're there as well are fucking doctors, bro. Like, come on, man. None of them are doctors.
By itself, I've heard bad things about it for many years. Yes, please.
Is the spectrum too broad, in your opinion? For research purposes, you are dealing with a population of children who might have social boundary difficulties, and then you have children who are, going to grow up to be adults.
No, probably Boy Meets
We don't
Minnie.
know how broad the spectrum is. We don't know exactly where it starts and where it ends, but we do know what we're going through. We're going through some very serious trouble, and we know autism. I mean, it could be bigger, it could be smaller, a little bit
We
smaller.
totally
but the
know
number's
about
unacceptable.
autism.
And the number, the way it's come down, because the spectrum's remained the same, the number, the way it's come down is just unacceptable. Meaning come down to that level of 1 in 10, 1 in 12, 1 in 31.
We're the best at autism, folks.
This question is more towards Secretary Kennedy. It was talked about that we're just kind of finding out about the fact that babies are affected this way. Is there concern that information is being suppressed right now within HHS and could an investigation perhaps be launched?
Well, I think information has been really not given out very freely over the years, absolutely. And I think that's by drug companies and maybe doctors, but I certainly think that over the years.
Well, no, it's because of RFK Jr., because he's been consistently firing people who have been going against the stuff that he's saying. Like, it's because of the dumbass that you have right behind you, dude.
I think it's a different group. We have a lot of information. And that information, I mean, it's the information that we have that we're making these statements. And I'm making them out front, and I'm making them...
Sorry, Boy Meets Minnie, but he doesn't understand fractions.
Loud, and I'm making them strongly not to take Tylenol, not to take it. Just don't take it unless it's absolutely necessary, and there's not too many cases where that will be the case. And again, what's the worst? The worst is nothing can happen.
The problem is with him saying this is that it's very general fucking language. Again, he's gonna get fucking sued for this shit, like 1,000 fucking %. Like he's gonna get fucking owned in court with all this shit. Like, I think Tylenol should absolutely sue the fuck out of him, dude.
It's very positive. That's a positive thing. But I don't believe I don't actually believe that's possible. I think the results are going to be amazing. I want to see amazing results by the time I leave this beautiful building. And I will consider this, I believe, with the wars, I've stopped 7 different wars. I've saved millions of lives. I've done a lot of things. This will be as important as
He stopped no wars, by the way.
Single thing I've done, because I know ladies, beautiful ladies just like this that are going through the same thing, and it's not easy, and I admire you for being able to do it. But I admire him too. I wish I had a face that looked like that. If I looked like him, I would have been president a long time ago.
widely used in other countries too. As you make this announcement, do you expect your decision may affect
I hope
other
they follow it,
countries?
yeah. I hope they follow it. Yeah, other countries are, sell Tylenol. Some countries don't. I mean, I hear Cuba, now, again, you have to check this out, but I hear Cuba doesn't have it because it's very expensive. And they don't have the money to have it, or they don't want to spend the money to have it. They don't have Tylenol.
Their country's still under embargo, Trump. Like, Cuba's still under embargo by the United States of America. That's why they probably don't have Tylenol.
And I hear they have essentially no autism. So you have to check it out. Yeah, right.
Medical professionals have more
No,
decades.
not you. You're CNN. You're fake news. Go ahead. Right.
Thank you, Mr. President.
You're CNN.
Just for a second, I recently saw a man from Minnesota, an Amish man from Minnesota, on a podcast, and the host asked him what the rates were for like ADHD and autism, and he had no idea about ADHD, didn't know that it existed, and certainly didn't know of any cases. What are they
It
doing?
doesn't exist with the Amish community, and they don't take all this junk.
Because they don't get fucking asked these questions, or they don't answer to the fucking polling, you moron. Jesus Christ. Holy shit, that's why you don't know, because they're remote communities that don't fucking do any of this stuff. Yeah. Bro, I saw like an Amish guy, like, listen to this. Dude, you're telling me that the fucking weirdo fucking goddamn shut-ins don't know if that like autism fucking exists or some shit? Like, come on, like, what the fuck is this, man? It's nonsense, dude.
It doesn't exist. I told you, doesn't it? That's like, that's like certain countries where it doesn't exist and they don't take it. Would you like to make a comment about that?
The Amish population is a very mixed group, so there's a subset that take vaccines and a subset that does not. And we know they have very low rates of chronic disease all across the board.
Because they're completely isolated from everyone else, bro. That's fucking why they don't have as much disease. That's why.
Establishment media show at least some openness to, trying to figure out what the causes of autism
I wish they would, yeah.
Why are they so close-minded?
Well, look, it's not only the media, in all fairness. It's some people. When you talk about vaccines, they go crazy. And, I'm a big supporter of vaccines. I got a certain vaccine approved in 9 months. I would have taken.
Bro, you're not a fan. You're not a fan of fucking vaccines if you were peddling these stupid, like, most debunkable, easily fucking debunkable disinformation about fucking vaccines. Like, nonsense, dude.
From 5 to 12 years. I'm very proud of it. A lot of people think it was one of the greatest things I've done, and some people think, mostly Republicans actually. I'll tell you, the Democrats think they think Operation Warp Speed was one of the greatest things any president has done. Any president. It's we're very proud of what happened. We got hit with something that came from a place that shouldn't have happened, but it did happen. Those things take place, and you're very unpleasantly surprised. But no, I'm a big believer in vaccines. Polio vaccine, big believer in vaccines. I know Bobby and you guys have it out a little bit, but he's a believer in vaccines too. But I've seen how great vaccines can be, how incredible they can be. So I'm a believer. Yeah. Yeah, please.
You're commenting about MMR and hepatitis B. Those were your suggestions. Have you spoken to Secretary Kennedy about actually making those changes?
I have. I've spoken to all the doctors about it, and doctors that are not here right now. I've spoken to many doctors about everything we're talking about. And the Tylenol has started to be spoken of over the last period of time, but we've been doing the research. A lot of what they've been speaking about comes from right here, by research done by these people. And I just say it again: don't take.
Again, these people are not doctors. Like, again, they're not doctors. They don't practice medicine. It is a fucking lie. It's complete bullshit.
Tylenol. Don't take it. And don't give it to your child after your child is born. And do all those other things, little things. Just spread out your visits, etc., or the vaccine. And I want to thank everybody. This is a very important day. Thank you very much.
Yeah, these decisions, by the way, are going to cause more disease and have America being basically an effective pathogen of vector of disease. I wouldn't be surprised if the next big pandemic comes out of fucking America at this point because of all the other complete nonsense and disinformation that's coming out of there. Again, so this is what the Autism Action Plan is, put out by the United States. FDA will issue a physician notice and initiate a safety label change on acetaminophen, which is just a lie. It's based off of a lie. The studies say the exact opposite of what they're saying. Nonsense. Research does not show a potential association. We took a fucking look at some studies saying otherwise. So, lie. And HHS will launch a nationwide public service campaign to inform families. So, they're just going to start projecting out their misinformation. FDA will act to establish the first recognized therapeutic luciferin. There we go. Not luciferin. What the fuck was I saying? For children with cerebral fluid deficiency and autism symptoms. Again, iHerb, which sells non-prescript versions of fucking leucovorin, which is, again, there are no prescription versions, I think, of this drug, not that I've ever heard of, because it's just a fucking health nut fucking supplement. That's the point of it. Health nut fucking bullshit. Because, again, these people don't believe in public health or public safety. They just want to hawk their stupid goddamn snake oil to people in order to just constantly have them as, paying, willing fucking customers. That's the point. State Medicaid programs will be able to cover leucovorin for autism spectrum disorder, even though there's no evidence to suggest that it treats that whatsoever. And NIH will facilitate confirmatory trials and new research into the impact of leucovorin. I'm so ready for this to just basically bear out and be like a complete fucking nothing burger. Like, because again, there's just like no evidence. There's nothing. There's like nothing, like whatsoever. So, complete nonsense. And then, of course, increasing research investment through the Autism Data Science Initiative. NIH will fund 13 projects totaling more than $50 million investment. By the way, yeah, the $50 million that RFK took away from mRNA fucking vaccines, I guess it's going into like this completely frivolous nonsense. What is this? Vaccination rate in Amish children? What is this? What's the conclusion to this, Boy Meets Mini? Immunocompromised children made up of 68% of varicella cases, while in 75% of cases, cases of meningococcal disease, children were too young to have been vaccinated. Researchers studied Penn State Children's Hospital medicinal records for children under 18 who were diagnosed with a VPD from 2005 to 2015. Children were classified as plain, Amish or Mennonite, or non-plain. Although, when looking at the race, researchers did not have enough data to include the Mennonite population, probably because there's not enough of them. Roughly 92% of plain children in the study were unvaccinated, compared to 17% of the non-plain children during the study period. 215 children were hospitalized with 221 VPDs. About 93% of those children were unvaccinated or immunocompromised, except for those with pneumococcal infections, according to the research. While 81% of hospitalized children were non-plain, Amish children were hospitalized for VPD at more than twice their rate. Hey, this is why you get your fucking vaccines. So, as expected, you're telling me that the fucking goddamn isolationists and people who don't believe in fucking vaccines and technology whatsoever are more likely to get fucking diseased? Who would have thought? Crazy. Measles outbreak in under-immunized Amish community in Ohio. Yeah, again, this just proves that these people are more than likely going to be vulnerable to a bunch of different diseases that vaccines are meant to prevent. Like what else are you supposed to say here? These guys are complete cranks, conspiracy theorists, and the only reason why they're pushing the fucking things they're pushing is for the express purpose of undermining public health and undermining, well, basically the public's sort of ability to trust any of the institutions around them, just for the express purposes of just putting out complete, to have basically, instead of public healthcare services be made available to people, to have the private market be the main ones to fucking benefit. All these people have a vested interest in pushing as much vaccine misinformation as possible and complete utter quackery as possible. RFK Jr. and obviously Dr. Oz withstanding. So yeah, you can spare me it. These people are complete charlatans. Get fucking vaccinated. Don't listen to these morons. And because they all have an interest in order to push as much disinformation as possible. Don't think there's really much else to say besides that.